For me, growing up in Jablani, it's been a great experience. It's the center point of South Africa for me. Went to UJ to study BA Humanities. One of the modules that interested me in development studies was actually children and youth development, which is the reason why I'm in Safe Hub now.
So Safe Hub started all the way back in 2007, actually, in the township of Khayelitsha.
Hi, Marina. Good and you?
I came here as a 19-year-old and lived and worked for a year in Khayelitsha. And having understood how privileged I had grown up back in Germany, so many opportunities, really that triggered something in me. And together with young people that had grown up in Khayelitsha, we dreamt up the Safe Hub model now in the D-Lab precinct, which is a program that runs now nationally, and Amandla is implementing 8 of the 9 precincts throughout the country. And we're looking for more and more and more so that eventually most communities in South Africa would be able to offer a facility in precinct like this. The theme behind that really is to break this intergenerational cycle of poverty, inequality and unemployment.
The core objective of the D-Lab program is to partner with organizations that are skilled in grassroots development work. So they're embedded within communities. They have cracked the DNA of development, which is really boils down to how you grow people and build institutional capacity. Without growing people and without building institutional capacity, you cannot have development, because you'll spend money in that area, but the money will disappear and won't recirculate in order to kind of create a local economy.
I got an opportunity to implement what I've studied, which is a rare thing in South Africa now. It's a great honor to be able to give back to the community that I grew up in. I actually used to play soccer in the fields here.
This particular facility was built by the city of Johannesburg with the support of National Treasury, but I think the most important partnership in this environment for us is the partnership with the DBSA, the Development Bank of Southern Africa. They gave a huge amount of funding to enable us scaling not just to this site but across the country now. This year we're going to be at 9 D-Lab sites throughout South Africa in 7 provinces. And the DBSA is really the driver behind that, and to have this independent convener that enables this vision was very important for us, and that's the role that the DBSA really played in all of this.
In terms of scaling the program, what is that looking like?
Well, currently we have 5 active D-Labs across the country, and we are about to roll out our next 4. Today we're in Westridge, in Mitchell's Plain, to celebrate the opening of the Westridge D-Lab precinct site, which is the first physical, fully funded precinct that the DBSA has solely funded. The implementing partner on the ground is our labs. They're very much rooted in a message and a vision of hope. The program itself has been in implementation for 3 full years, and now realizing the desired scale of impact, we are celebrating the space that allows for all of the convening activities, interventions, opportunities, and access to real meaningful change for the community.
You got an establishing shot for web development, right?
Yeah.
At the most basic level, development is reflected in the build-up of human capabilities, both individual and collective, to mobilize resources for an improvement in their own well-being. And this is an infrastructure that is geared to foster the development of those capabilities. We are unlocking the potential of human creativity and innovation, and then investing in the partnerships that make an impact on people's lives.
I actually grew up here, so I walked down the streets when I was little and going to the library and going to school and all of that. Mitchell's Plain is one of the communities that has high rates of crime, of poverty, of school dropouts, of teenage pregnancies, of gangsterism and drugs. Every single thing you can call a social ill is right here. People need to earn an income, people need to live. So we started with an entrepreneurship program, and so that's always closely linked to what we do. We can't just do digital skills without the business side of it. And so now people started their own businesses using the digital skills that they were being trained on. And as time has moved on, many years later, the world has changed, and for our labs, it's always, how do we stay abreast of this technology? So the partnership with DBSA has been very strategic and instrumental in actually escalating and scaling the current work that we are doing.
I was looking for a platform where I could have a community of people like me, people that were hungry to be able to do my own thing in the area, run a business that would be sustainable, and also to help support the people from where I am from. Because Mitchell's Plain is a historically marginalized community. And then we have organizations like these that are incubating entrepreneurs. And especially when it comes to digital technology and innovation, when we have more resources or spaces, where we can flourish, it will change the whole environment and landscape of our communities. And that is how we're going to do it. So when we have organizations like the DBSA supporting our communities, we're supporting our communities to thrive.
What it means to the community is that there's such a sense of ownership, there's such a sense of pride, there's such a sense of belonging that this space has created. Yes, it's a physical infrastructure, but the hope and the impact that it's brought beyond, the programs that we've seen already is really what the essence is in.
The DLAB program was always intended to be a space in underserved communities that would provide them with access to employment opportunities to become active economically, as well as to bring job opportunities into the township. In addition, you would see that there's all sorts of programs, whether it's sports, health, different psychosocial supports, digital offerings, etc. So really just bringing the opportunities within the communities. The VITS Health Hub, in terms of offerings, they would do health checks for the community, varying from high blood pressure, iron, glucose, etc., your baseline needs, as well as offering internships for community healthcare workers. So this is the iron one. To be on the receiving end of these youth who we've supported, and for her to guide me around my own health, it was an awesome experience. One other offering that is active here within the ecosystem is the business process offering, where a call center has come into the Jabulani Soweto precinct and area, and all the staff that are from there are from the vicinity. Part of that revenue feeds back into the sustainable operations of the precinct. So DBSA provides that platform for public-private partnerships.
Jabulani means be happy. My children, my family, my life makes me happy at the moment. I've seen this place develop from just these flats to the mall being built, the theater being built, the amphitheater being renovated, the D-Lab being here. The ECD program is a program for kids to learn life skills and to just interact in a place outside of school. At certain times, they come from the center and go to the Safe Hub and experience a vibrant place where they meet other people and they interact better. They get to be open and they get to play and sing.
Ngamiso is a boy from White City, Jabavu. After matriculating, I did go to tertiary for a bit, And then unfortunately things went south. I had to drop out and actually look to get a job. And then that's how I stumbled upon Safe Hub. I got introduced to the Edu People space where I got a 12-month learnership where I got to get a skill in facilitation, coaching, reffing, and also being a first aider. And then after that, I graduated and I was fortunate enough to be chosen to become a program officer for SCALP, which stands for Sports, Culture, Arts, Learnership and Playmaker Program.
Nice!
We mix the power of education and sports to actually change lives.
The D in the development bank should not be a small d. It should be a big D. And it means understanding the complexities of development, not just as building infrastructure, hardware, but also building people.
This place has been hope for many, and including myself. They've given me a direction, they've given me something to look forward to every day when I wake up. And I think DBS is doing a great job.
Montessori is a very special program because kids, they learn to be independent. They're learning to read at the early age. We have different activities that we use for them to take care of themselves.
Early childhood development is where it starts. It's a building block to succeeding in life, getting better jobs, and actually finishing matric. The center was built in 2010 by BW. They provide the funding for it on a yearly basis.
The earlier you invest in a child, the better the outcomes for that child, for the child's family and community. But we talk about high quality early childhood development. In the Eastern Cape, and actually even South Africa, we have the highest number of children who have no exposure to high quality early childhood care at all.
So it was started as a grade R center at that point. And then we basically decided to change the center to an ECD center, and the research was done in 2014. We wanted the best ECD curriculum or program, and after having examined a lot of them in South Africa, we decided on the Montessori. So we had to train teachers in that curriculum, and in 2016 we opened the center as a Montessori ECD center, and we've not looked back since.
I heard from a friend about the Kwezalomso. That is when I decided to take Brandy side. The school was amazing. Everything, the teachers, the principal, it was just amazing. They made me feel welcome and comfortable to bring Brandy at the school.
I love working with kids. I love this building. I leave my stresses away. The moment I get into Ikwezi, and becoming teacher Tendai, that the kids they love most.
The education they side, it's excellent. She's a happy child, always tells me about the teachers, the classmates, and the friends. Oh yeah, and the auntie that cooks at the school.
We've tracked our children and we found that they're doing very well, especially in the language area and also mathematics. So we're providing an excellent education, and what it means for the kids in this community is that they are given quality education and they can compete with anybody out there, any school.
Unfortunately, in South Africa today, 82% of 10-year-olds are not able to read and write for meaning in any language. And that is the single biggest constraint to better educational outcomes. Because if you can't read, then you can't learn.
There's nothing that we can do in any subject without literacy. So if our kids doesn't grab literacy in the foundation phase, we'll be having children that actually won't understand what actually is happening.
So our Legacy Literacy Initiative is our initiative where we're trying to make sure that every single child in our community is able to read and write by the time they're 10 years old. We've done very intensive investments and interventions, starting with the literacy centers, which are run by literacy ambassadors, who are often unemployed youth from the township that have been recruited and trained and still doing ongoing training in literacy and literacy education, and hopefully they will become teachers.
I started doing teaching in ABID. That's when I started to realize, no man, this is what I love. I got the opportunity to apply and work as a literacy ambassador while also studying.
The LAs are assisting a school in terms of making sure that the knowledge is out of the book, the knowledge is in their heads.
So the literacy program started right in 2017, and then it grew. So now the schools that the program would have and would be working with would be 10.
Dlameza has been helped a lot by this program. So this center is making sure that we are producing learners that can read and that learners that can write. We are very proud of our learners in terms of literacy.
So one of the things we say at Volkswagen is that we have a responsibility to contribute towards creating the society we want to be part of, and I love that. The Community Trust was set up more than 30 years ago now, and it's now the main vehicle for our corporate social responsibility. We have a very strong focus on education and youth development. That's what we're really about, really contributing to solving the biggest problems in partnership and in collaboration with suppliers, partners, and experts.
There are a lot of challenges that are facing the youth in KwaNobuhle. There are many cases of gang violence, drug and substance abuse, and a lot more cases of teenage pregnancy. Love Life tries to help the youth to focus more on themselves and building up themselves.
So the partnership with Love Life is one of the longest partnerships we've had. And the whole aim is to give young people a safe place to go to in their communities in the afternoon, where they can do a multiplicity of things. They can play organized sports, they can participate in drama or community activities, they can play games. They have a place where they can do their homework, but they can also learn skills. There's a computer center, there's a youth radio room, there's a youth-friendly clinic to deal with health issues that young people face in a safe and protected way. There's a counselor, a whole range of activities.
Groundbreakers is what we call a peer-to-peer group leadership. These groundbreakers are trained in facilitation, they are trained in presentation, they are trained into how to work in communities, in community mobilization, and they are also upskilling themselves to be better citizens of our country.
The training was a good experience. I got to learn things that I didn't know. I learned that I am very outspoken. There were so many things that were brought out of me that I didn't know that I can do.
When I finished my grade 12, joined the Love Life team. I believe that Love Life is that stepping stone to actually get to know yourself, and it opened up doors for me. And it always gave me that thing of saying, you could do this.
Favorite part of my job is to speak to young people and to see their lives change for better as they make the right choices. The work that is done by VW within this community, really it's powering the future of our young people.
We've provided opportunities to thousands of children in the Eastern Cape largely, because that's where our biggest footprint is in terms of our employees. The Children of VW bursary program is a high school bursary starting from grade 8 to grade 12. We've also got a maths and science program, and then we've got a tertiary bursary program, which is broader into the community.
I'm Claire Butler. I work at VW in the finance department. I've been at VW for approximately 18 years. My daughter's name is Grizzly. She is my only child and the only grandchild. Yeah, Grizzly is very vibrant. She's well-spoken. She is a people's person. She knows exactly what she wants in life.
I love accounting and numbers. I'm a first-year B accounting student at Stellenbosch University.
When she was in grade 6, they had these extra maths and science classes, and they advertised that at VW. And after that first Saturday, she was hooked. She was at class every Saturday. So when she was in grade 7, and she was now still attending these classes, then BW now advertised for the first time that they're going to give bursaries for kids from grade 8 onwards. And I was so chuffed because like, what?
So when she came home and told me, Krisni, there's this bursary opportunity, you can go to Woodridge now. Obviously I was a bit scared. I was like, okay, but 10 minutes later I took those papers and those forms and I filled them in myself, and I think I was just so excited.
They paid for everything, accommodation, her schooling, stationery, the uniform. It was hard to send her off to boarding school, but for me it was just, she has to go. It's going to just open all the doors that needs to be opened.
In South Africa, intergenerational social mobility is one of the worst in the world. So the children of VW bursary, in my view, apart from just addressing the educational challenges, it was also about bringing workers and management together at Volkswagen, creating the sense that for Volkswagen employees in particular and shop floor workers, my child can also be one day an MD of Volkswagen.
In my matric year for prize giving, I was the DAX learner, and then at the end of the year, I passed with 6 distinctions.
Krisni currently is studying at Stellenbosch. She's living in Res. It's always difficult to get a bursary the first year around, and we've struggled.
I wouldn't be at Stellenbosch University without the help of Volkswagen. They cover my tuition and boarding, and they cover my textbooks and all the learning materials that I'll need, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm loving it so much.
One could say the purpose of business is to create value in society and in the world. So wherever you find Volkswagen, you will find that Volkswagen is involved in society in a meaningful way.
I love my family so much. I wouldn't be where I am without them. My mom for going through so much just to put me where I am today. I really do appreciate her.
If we are to survive, the country, our communities also have to survive and grow and thrive. There's still a lot of work to do, but I'm proud of the work that we've done.